So welcome back to the Heroes for Sale YouTube channel. This week we're going to be talking about what are the best basketball cards to buy. On the last episode of this podcast slash YouTube series, I talked about what the best baseball cards to buy, and not specific players, but which specific sets you were going to want to be looking into. So for this week, we're going to be talking about basketball cards. Now, we're going to be talking post 2012, because if you go back to LeBron's rookie year or like Kobe's rookie year, even Steph Curry's rookie year, there are a bunch of different rookie cards that you can buy. For Kobe and LeBron especially, there was Topps, and then there were a bunch of other different brands that were around at the time. And when we got to Steph Curry's year in 2009, there weren't as many, so you can find Topps, you can find some Upper Deck cards, but for the most part, you were looking at Topps. And then there was a weird couple years between 2010 and then 2011, before 2012, when Prism first came out, where there weren't really any companies that were making licensed stuff. Like, there were some SP Upper Deck cards, but for the most part, what you're going to be looking at for them is whatever you could find, because there really wasn't that much. So if you are looking at post 2012, that's when Prism started. So Prism is going to be the first card I'm talking about today. And if you are looking at basketball cards and you're trying to learn about a specific player's market, Prism is definitely where I suggest looking. Now, Prism has gotten pretty expensive. If you're looking for Luka cards, or you're looking for Zion cards, or if you're looking for Bronny Jr. cards, if you're watching this video in 2025, these, or at least, I don't know, actually, maybe they won't be around in 2025. Either way, Prism cards are the ones that you want to be looking for. So it's called Panini Prism. So the thing about basketball and baseball and hockey and football is that there's this thing called exclusive licensing. So I should have started that with that probably. But the exclusive licensing essentially means that only one company is allowed to make cards with licensed players on them. So that basically means with like logos, or actually logos is pretty much essentially the one thing that they are or aren't allowed to do. So you'll see Prism Baseball and Prism Basketball, but the Prism Baseball won't have any logos, because that's a Panini product, and Topps is the one that owns the exclusive license for baseball. So within Panini, they own the exclusive licensing for basketball, football, and then there are a couple soccer leagues that they own exclusive licensing for. So if you're looking for basketball, the top card that I would say starting out to look for is going to be Prism. So if you're looking for like Giannis, and like I said, this is post 2012. So like if you're looking for Giannis, you're looking for Luka, you're looking for Zion, anybody, Tatum, Donovan Mitchell, Ben Simmons, like all these players are going to have a Prism rookie card. So this has become more or less the gold standard. Now, there are different variations, but for this video, I'm not going to be talking about the variations. So you're going to want to look at just the base Prism, because that's going to be the least expensive Prism card for that player, or at least rookie card in most scenarios. So the second card that I want to talk about is going to be Panini Select. So Panini Select is similar to Prism, where it's a Chrome product. They have 3 different tiers of that card itself. So there is the first 100, so there's basically 100 to 150 players on the checklist entirely, but there's a 300 card checklist. So what they do for most rookies is you have one card that's the base card that's numbered 1 through 100, and then 101 through 200 is going to be a card that's shorter printed, and then the card 201 to 300 is going to be the short print. So the reason I like that product is because it's a Chrome product, and I do like how they have that tiered system, and you are going to find that Select is going to be much cheaper, but I think as Prism gets more expensive, finding these products that are cheaper are going to be maybe a better investment on your end, because what ends up happening is that even, or at least from my experience, if a player's card goes up, the Prism card mostly, because that's the baseline of what I'm doing a lot of my research on, if that Prism card is going up, the card for Select and some of these other cards will also go up. Not the total money, but the percentage, most of the time you'll see they'll go up as well. And I also think that you'll find that you're going to find products that are undervalued, and Select is one that I think is a little bit undervalued because of the design, because of the it's most of the time you're only going to find it in a hobby. Like you can find select baseball in like Targets and stuff like that, but for the most part, select you're only going to be finding like online or in hobby. It's a little bit harder to find, and I think the 3-tiered system for this card is another reason why I really like this as a rookie card. So the next product that I'm going to talk about, the third on my list, is going to be the Panini Donruss Optic. Now there is a so Donruss is a brand within Panini, and they have a Donruss, and then they have Donruss Optic. So Donruss is also on my list. I'll talk about that after this. But so Optic is going to be basically the Chrome version of the Donruss. So what you're going to find with this product, actually I forgot to mention this, with Select, that's the first card that comes out with a action shot of the player in their pro uniforms. I did forget to mention that. That's kind of important and why I like Select so much. But with Optic, what you're going to find is that is basically, it's one of the first products that comes out after Donruss that's going to be this Chrome product, and I think it's a little bit overpriced. I mean, it's kind of hard to find. Like last summer or the summer of 2019, we saw a really huge resurgence in the Optic Holo card. So the Optic Luka Holo went up pretty significantly, and it mainly was because people saw that the Holo was much less rare than the Prism Silver, which is part of these variations, but Optic itself is going to be like a base product, and I think another thing that I really like about Optic is that they have some really great inserts within that product. So those are the 3 Chrome products that I like. Now let's get into some paper products. So like I mentioned, Donruss is going to be basically the paper version of Optic. Now I don't necessarily love this product. I think you can find other options. Like you can spend a little bit more money and get either the Optic or the Select card, but if you are looking for like a cheaper option, like I think you can find John Morant's for like around $100 currently. Like it depends on when you're watching this, obviously, but you're gonna find that card is fairly cheap, and all the stuff still kind of applies to Donruss and Optic. Donruss comes out first. It comes on earlier on in the year, and that product, along with Prism and I think Hoops, those are products that use photos from the rookie premiere / event that basically they have for these rookie cards, for these players, so that way they can get out rookie cards before the season starts, even though they haven't played in any games yet. So the 5th and final product that I think is probably one of the more undervalued products in the hobby for basketball cards is going to be Hoops. So Hoops is the first card that comes out with these players in their pro uniforms. So Select is coming out with action shots of them wearing their pro uniforms, but Hoops is a product that comes out that's lower end. I mean, it's supposed to be cheaper and you can find it, but the thing with basketball products is it's been very hard to find these products in stores, whether that's in hobby or even retail. A lot of retail shops not retail shops, but like your Targets and Walmarts, what ends up happening is that people will just basically buy out the whole entire store of all the cards, and then they'll just resell the packs or the box or whatever they're finding. And that's been a trend we've seen with basketball as of recently. I'm not sure if that's going to continue because of this year's hype around the prospects that are rookies has been absolutely insane with Ja and Zion. So I think that's one main reason why we are seeing that. But I do think that Hoops, if you can find it in stores, like I said, it's going to be cheaper. It's not going to be, the quality's not exactly going to be there, but I do like that card as opposed to maybe an Optic card where I think you're paying a little bit more for the chrome finish on the card, where I think if you're not going to go with Prism, I think going with an undervalued, just kind of maybe not even a starter card, but like it's just going to be cheaper than Prism because like I said, the past few years, Prism has really become one of those products that I view as almost high-end now, because if you're looking to open any of that product, it's almost impossible to find, and you're going to be paying a lot of money extra to get that type of product. And because it is basically become the gold standard, I think that is another reason why Prism has become more expensive compared to some of these other products, where I think if you're looking for undervalued stuff, that's when you need to look at like a Hoops, or you need to look at maybe Select. So those are basically my 5 top basketball rookie cards to look into if you are starting out. Now there are other products. There's something called Mosaic. There's something called Panini Chronicles. There's something called Status. I mean, there's Revolution. There's tons of different other products you can look into. But if you're just starting out and you're wanting to get a base on your knowledge, I would say starting out with those few products is probably going to be your best bet. So thank you all for watching this video. This is Heroes for Sale, Adam from Heroes for Sale. If you haven't subscribed or hit the like button, what are you thinking? I can't even believe that you got this far and didn't do that. So I hope this message here really inspires you to smash the like and subscribe button. If you have not subscribed on iTunes, what are you thinking? I don't know what you could be thinking there either. Go leave a review if you're listening on iTunes, or not if you're listening, but if you want to listen on iTunes and you want to leave a review, that would be phenomenal. Also on Spotify, go follow me, Twitter, TikTok, Instagram, YouTube here as well. So thank you all for watching, and I will see you in the next episode.